begins Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Campaigning for assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh on top gear before coming to an end tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold 4 rallies in MP today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets newly appointed UK Defence Secretary in London, discusses enhancing defence and security cooperation between India and UK. Road Transport Ministry says all coordinated efforts being made to evacuate stranded workforce at Silkyara Tunnel collapse site in Uttarakhand. Retail inflation eases to 4.87% in October compared to 5.02% in September. And India International Trade Fair to begin at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi today. And now the news in detail. Campaigning for assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh is touching the top gear before coming to an end tomorrow. In Madhya Pradesh, there will be more meetings and rallies of star campaigners today. BJP leaders including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Union Ministers Rajnath Singh, Nitin Gadkari, Narendra Singh Tomar and Jyotiraditya Scindia and Party President JP Nadda will hold various election meetings and rallies today. Apart from this, many other leaders including Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also be campaigning. Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge, party star campaigner Rahul Gandhi, Sachin Pilot, former Chief Minister Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh will hold rallies and meetings in support of the party candidates. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav will also take part in campaign in Sihor and Chhatarpur. Leaders of the BSP, Aam Aadmi Party and other parties will also participate in their campaign. We have a report.
The election campaign in Madhya Pradesh today is not less than Star Wars. Apart from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, more than half a dozen star campaigners will hold more than 30 rallies and meetings in a day for BJP candidates. The Prime Minister will hold rallies at 4 places and the Chief Minister at 6 places, while many union ministers will hold 2 to 3 rallies. Congress is also not lagging behind in campaigning. Party leaders will campaign around 10 places under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. Congress has also organized several programs today on the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has also started acquiring vehicles to send polling parties to their respective booth. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Bhopal.
Campaigning for the remaining 70 seats in the second phase of Chhattisgarh Assembly election is in full swing. Voting on these seats will be held on 17th of November. Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Anurag Singh Thakur is on a 2-day election tour of the state from today. He will participate in the election program in Vaishali and Navagarh Assembly constituencies, including the capital Raipur. On the other hand, senior Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi is on an election tour to Raipur today. She will participate in an election roadshow here, whereas senior leaders of other major parties are also busy in the election campaign. In Rajasthan, BJP, Congress and other political parties as well as independent candidates are actively campaigning for the assembly election. The state will go to polls on 25th of November. BJP leader and Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will address Karyakarta Sammelan in favour of party candidates in Kishanpol and Adarsh Nagar Assembly constituencies in Jaipur today. Congress leader and Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will address election rallies in Kota and Ramganj Mandi today. Meanwhile, the first phase of home voting is starting from today in the entire state. More from our correspondent.
Home voting facility has been started for the first time in the state for senior citizens above 80 years of age and more than 40% disabled voters. The Election Commission has taken this initiative in the direction of inclusive elections. The list of voters who opted for home voting facilities has been provided to all the recognized political parties. More than 51,000 voters above 80 years of age and about 12 12,900 especially abled voters have applied for this facility. The polling teams will get these voters to vote through postal ballot. Jitendra Dwivedi, Akashvani News, Barnala, Savai Madhupur.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch PMPVTG, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Development Mission, tomorrow in a huge step to empower tribal people. Sources said the government will launch a 24,000 crore rupee scheme to ensure holistic development of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups on the occasion of Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. The launch of Pradhan Mantri PVTG Development Mission was announced in the budget of this year to improve socio-economic conditions of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. There are 75 PVTGs in 18 states and union territories living in 22,544 villages having a population of around 28 lakhs. These tribes stay in scattered, remote and inaccessible habitations, often in forest areas. The mission plans to saturate PVTG families and habitations with basic facilities such as road and telecom connectivity, electricity, safe housing, clean drinking water and sanitation, among others. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
नमस्कार, मैं हूँ स्मृति ईरानी और मैं लेकर आ रही हूँ नई सोच, नई कहानी। कहानी संघर्षों की, कहानी कामयाबी की। जी हाँ, आ रही हूँ जल्द हर बुधवार सुबह 9 बजे आकाशवाणी गोल्ड 100.1 पर।
Welcome back. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met UK Defence Secretary Grant Shapps in London yesterday. In a social media post, he said they discussed enhancing defence and security cooperation between India and the United Kingdom. They also shared perspectives on the global security challenges and the convergences in the approach of the two countries. Dr. Jaishankar said, Make in India offers new opportunities for its British partners. Earlier, Dr. Jaishankar met newly appointed Foreign Secretary David Cameron and held a detailed discussion on realizing the full potential of the bilateral strategic partnership. The meeting came hours after British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak appointed the former Premier back into the frontline government as his new Foreign Secretary in a dramatic reshuffle of his cabinet ahead of the general elections next year. Dr. Jaishankar is on a 5-day official visit to the UK with an aim to review various aspects of bilateral ties and give new impetus to the friendly ties. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh also held a telephonic conversation with UK Secretary of State for Defence Grant Shapps. Mr. Singh congratulated Mr. Shapps on his appointment as the Secretary of State for Defence. Ministry of Defence in a statement said that both the ministers discussed a range of defence and security issues with particular emphasis on the Indo-Pacific. It said they briefly reviewed the ongoing engagements and discussed possible cooperation in new domains. Both sides also explored ways and means to develop closer defence relations. Mr. Shapps also invited Mr. Singh to visit the UK in the near future. Road Transport and Highway Ministry has said that all coordinated efforts are being made to evacuate stranded workforce at the earliest at Silkyara Tunnel collapse site in Uttarakhand. About 40 workers were trapped inside the tunnel when the tunnel collapsed. Communication with trapped workers has also been established through walkie-talkies. Uttarkashi District Magistrate Abhishek Rohela said that all the workers are safe inside the tunnel and they are being provided adequate food and oxygen through pipes. State Disaster Management Secretary Ranjit Sinha said the work of removing the debris inside the tunnel is being done rapidly. Mr. Sinha said that a plan is being made to take the workers out safely by putting big pipes inside the tunnel. In Kerala, an exchange of fire was reported between the Thunderbolt team of the Kerala Police and Maoists at Ayamkundi Hills in Kannur district this morning. The firing occurred when the Thunderbolt team went to the place in search of some Maoists hiding there. The Ayamkuri Hills provide easy access to Karnataka state. Reports said some people were taken into custody and arms and ammunition were seized. Retail inflation based on Consumer Price Index or CPI eased to 4.87% in October compared to 5.02% in September this year. According to the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, rural areas saw a higher inflation rate at 5.12% compared to urban areas at 4.62%. The Consumer Food Price Index for October stood at 6.61%, marginally lower than September. The retail inflation is within the RBI's upper tolerance limit of 6%. The government has mandated the Apex Bank to maintain retail inflation at 4% with a margin of 2% on either side. Ministry of Commerce and Industry has said that Government E-Marketplace or GEM has reached a significant milestone by surpassing 2 lakh crore in gross merchandise value in less than 8 months of the current fiscal year. GEM also witnessed a significant growth in average gross merchandise value per day, reaching more than 850 crore rupees per day in current financial year. The 42nd edition of the India International Trade Fair 2023 will begin at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi today. Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry Anupriya Patel will inaugurate the fair, which will continue till the 27th of this month. The theme of the 14-day fair is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which emphasizes the significance of interconnectedness and cooperation in trade for achieving sustainable growth and well-being. Details from our correspondent.
The first 5 days of and for the general public, it will be open from the 19th of this month. Bihar and Kerala are the partner states, while Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh are the focus states. The timings of the fair will be from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Visitors can purchase the trade fair tickets online and also from select 55 metro stations. For Divyang and senior citizens, the entry into the fair will be free. Arpita Chaudhary, Akashvani News, Delhi.
In Tamil Nadu, the Regional Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall in coastal districts of the state till Friday. A low pressure is likely to form over southwest Bay of Bengal and concentrate into a depression over west central Bay of Bengal around Thursday due to an upper air cyclonic circulation which lies over the South Andaman Sea. In Uttarakhand, the portals of the sacred Gangotri Dham located in Uttarkashi will be closed for winter today at 11:45 a.m. on the holy festival of Annakut. So far this year, a record number of 9,03,000 devotees have visited Gangotri Dham. The temple has been decorated with flowers and all the preparations for the closing of the doors have been completed.
ले शिव का नाम चल रे गंगोत्री धाम चल रे ले शिव का नाम चल रे गंगोत्री धाम.
After the closure of the portals, pilgrims will be able to have darshan of goddess Ganga at Mukhba for the next 6 months. The shrine of Yamunotri Dham, located in Uttarkashi, will close for the devotees on the occasion of Bhaiya Dooj tomorrow. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Tanvi Khurana.
Thank you, Anuja. All the dailies have mentioned about the sharpest spike in post-Diwali AQI in the national capital. The Indian Express states firecracker ban flouted. Delhi air quality worsens, triggers AAP BJP blame game. Looking at employment opportunities for transgender persons, a headline in the Indian Express says talks on in armed forces on possible entry of transgenders, study group formed. Expected to see the best structural growth prospects in the region, Goldman Sachs upgrades Indian equities, lowers Chinese stocks, reports the Statesman. Ex-PM Cameron makes shock return to UK cabinet after Suella fired as Home Secretary, writes Hindustan Times. And finally, the Times of India writes about a study showing 1 in 4 foreign students in US from India as 2022-23 number hits all-time high of 2.7 lakhs. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Tanvi. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Campaigning for assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh on top gear before coming to an end tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold 4 rallies in MP today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets newly appointed UK Defence Secretary in London, discusses enhancing defence and secretary cooperation between India and UK. Road Transport Ministry says all coordinated efforts being made to evacuate stranded workforce at Silkyara Tunnel collapse site in Uttarakhand. Retail inflation eases to 4.87% in October compared to 5.02% in September. And India International Trade Fair to begin at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi today. And with that, we end